Hello, this is Nyle DiMarco.
Nyle DiMarco is a modern icon of the deaf community. Both Nyle and his twin brother Nico were born deaf, the fourth generation of the family to be born deaf. His family stressed the importance of being bilingual in order for him to be able to communicate with both American Sign Language and English. Living in Maryland growing up, Nyle was afforded the opportunity to study at the Maryland School of the Deaf. This education enabled him to attend and graduate from Gallaudet University in Washington, D.C., the only liberal arts university in the world for the deaf. While there, he earned his Bachelor of Arts in Mathematics. After college, Nyle pursued a career in entertainment. In 2013, he starred in ASL Films' In the Can, in which the movie is fully in American Sign Language with English subtitles. From there, he was cast in a recurring role as Garrett in Freeform's Switched at Birth in 2014. He did not rise to notoriety until 2015, when he won Cycle 22 of America's Next Top Model, being the first ever deaf contestant and second male to win. He competed on the 22nd season of Dancing with the Stars, becoming the second deaf person to compete, but the first to win the Mirror Ball Trophy. During his Paso Doble dance to Panic at the Disco, Nyle and his partner Peta cut the music for 10 seconds because DiMarco wanted to invite them into my world and get an insight into what it means to be deaf. I've been dancing without any sound, so I wanted to invite them into that. In order to show you the power of his performance, here is his dance. This dance was instantly a powerful statement, moving the judges, host, and audience to tears. It became a powerful statement for the deaf community because it allowed deaf children to have an icon that showed them that they could aspire to be anything they wanted to, including a dancer. It also had the effect of allowing those who could hear to experience, even for a moment, what it is like for those who are deaf or hard of hearing to do things we take for granted, such as listening to the music and the beat they are dancing to. After competing, he has gone on to have a role in Hulu's Difficult People, as well as walking in Giorgio Armani's fashion show at Milan Fashion Week, Spring-Summer 2017. Nyle has never considered himself to be disabled by his deafness. Instead, he believes it to be an asset to his ability to model. He calls for deaf roles to solely be played by deaf or hard of hearing actors to allow for more deaf people in entertainment. He was named as a spokesman for Language Equality and Acquisition for Deaf Kids, an organization that is passionate about boosting language, literacy, and advocacy within the deaf community. In order to make learning ASL more accessible, Nyle collaborated on the ASL app, even being one of the signers to help people learn conversational American Sign Language. His biggest contribution to the deaf community would have to be the creation of the Nyle DiMarco Foundation. The foundation's goal is to make the world better for all deaf people and their families. Nyle and the foundation are guided by the principles that every child deserves love and language. His foundation is focused on the increase of access to accurate, research-based information about early language acquisition for the deaf community, specifically through the utilization of bilingual education. He calls for the hearing parents to teach ASL early on in life when a child's brain has the capacity to grasp new languages easier, even pushing for bilingual education for the deaf children to be passed in the United States. His foundation partners with others in order to help empower deaf individuals to reach their dreams. Nyle was named Deaf Person of the Year for 2017 by Deaf Life magazine. Outside of just advocating for the deaf community, Nyle has opened up about being sexually fluid. He considers himself a proud member of the queer community, as well as being an activist for the community. Nyle shows that there are often many identities one can have, and that an individual can advocate for all of their identities. Nyle has dedicated his life to helping the deaf community have a voice, striving to make the world a better place for the deaf. Through the work of his foundation, he has given countless families resources to help them make informed decisions about educating their deaf children. Because of all of this, Nyle has become one of the predominant spokespeople for the deaf community.